Leroy Armstrong. I am from Columbus, Indiana. I am a firefighter, paramedic. My wife is Julie. I have two daughters, 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, Natasha and Emma. I was diagnosed in 2012 with stage 4 colorectal cancer that metastasized to my liver. Dr. Melbert diagnosed me with it and has treated me since then, along with Dr. Rubenstein. I started bleeding rectally, thought it was hemorrhoids. Went to misdiagnosed it by myself, never did go to the doctor. Really, my mind went blank. It really didn't set in with me until I talked to my dad. Sorry. Dr. Melbert, like I said, when he told me I was 99% sure, he had me scheduled for a PET scan very quickly on that following Monday, and that Thursday I was back in his office, and that's when we found out it moved to my liver as well. Once all that happened, within the next month, we started the surgeries. Went from the colon surgery to the liver surgery to Dr. Rubenstein from September 2012 to December, and we was doing 12 rounds of treatment at the Cancer Center. And then we went from there and we had a clean bill of health up until about 1.5 years later, and found out I was back in my liver again. So we then had surgery on my liver again, and about 1 year later, found out it came back again in my liver for the 3rd time, and that's where we're at today.
I first met Leroy back in August of 2012, and Leroy, first of all, is just a delightful gentleman. I have a soft place in my heart for folks who serve their community, be it a policeman or a fireman, as Leroy is, and they're just salt of the earth people, and Leroy is one of them. Leroy came to me because of some symptoms that were concerning to him. He had noticed some bleeding. He'd had a change in his bowel habits. Leroy was only 34 years old. So remember, we don't typically screen for colon cancer until you hit 50. He's 16 years before that mark. And so, most folks would think, I'm having some hemorrhoids, whatever. But these symptoms had persisted for more than a few months. And so Leroy came to see me. And just based on hearing those symptoms, I immediately, advised him that we should do a colonoscopy and check things out. Unfortunately, we did the colonoscopy and did find a large tumor in Leroy's sigmoid colon right above the rectal area. Took some biopsies to confirm that it was indeed cancer. And so at that point, did some further testing and did discover that he already had some tumor cells outside of the colon in the liver. His situation, a lot of times if you have metastatic tumor cells, you don't even do an operation. You proceed to chemotherapy first. But with Leroy, his tumor was nearly obstructing him. And so after talking with him, we decided to go ahead and perform surgery first to remove that cancerous tumor in his colon, and then to proceed with his other therapy from there. He recovered very well, and then ultimately sent him on for oncology consultation with Dr. Eric Rubenstein. And then he also was fortunate in that his tumor cells in the liver were localized enough that he was able to have surgery to remove that section of his liver, which was very, very helpful too.
I'm a big fan of comic books and superheroes, and Leroy is a hero. It's an interesting opportunity here where I get to work with another hero who inspires me every day from the work that he does. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all treatment plan, and in Leroy's case, I've had the opportunity to collaborate with doctors throughout the city, with doctors from different institutions, and I've also reached out to key opinion leaders at the Mayo Clinic, at Memorial Sloan Kettering, to ensure that we're doing the best thing for Leroy. It's a very difficult case to have such a young person with such advanced disease, with so many responsibilities, But what's been gratifying thus far caring for Leroy is the fact that he's still out there doing his thing. He's still out there saving lives.
From day one, everybody from the Colorectal Center to the Columbus Center has been wonderful. They all know you. When they call you on the phone for an appointment, they know you by name, they know your schedule. It's the same faces every time you go in there, through the doctors, through the nurses, and they treat you with the utmost respect. From day one, I've had very great care. It's very relieving to know that not only can you stay here in Columbus, stay close to home, but if you need to go somewhere different, the Indianapolis office is just 45 minutes north of Columbus. I only have to make one call to get everything coordinated, whether it be going to the Mooresville office, the Indianapolis office, or the Columbus office. It's very easy. One phone call and you're set up with an appointment. I've recommended people to Dr. Rubenstein myself because he is a straight shooter. I would recommend Franciscan, Dr. Rubenstein, any of the oncologists, or any of the doctors up there for a second opinion. It could be a matter between life and death. And then don't wait like I did.